So, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Leontina. It's now time to close this great edition of ENDORSE 2025. So, I'm not going to be original. I will start by thanking all those who contributed. I heard 85 speakers, the moderators, the panelists, poster authors, volunteers, and of course, all of you who joined us today in Brussels.
Good afternoon, everyone, and hello, Frank. It's great to be at another great edition of ENDORSE. This is the kind of event that always delivers. We can count on that, on sharing experiences, examples, know-how, on data, semantics, and now artificial intelligence as well. And for us, ENDORSE, it's a particular event because we always consider it as one of the multipliers for the work we do under the Interoperable Europe umbrella. So very grateful for that. Thank you.
So indeed, it's all about multiplying. So you had the privilege to be part of a vibrant and growing community of professionals. You come together to exchange ideas, challenge assumptions, I like the challenge part, and co-create the future of data interoperability and semantics in Europe. And I will stress the co-creation after.
Yeah, well, we've done so much over these past days. Obviously, we have the theory presented, but we had so many examples on how to use vocabularies, taxonomies, and many other tools on data, semantic interoperability, and artificial intelligence. And these are really the essential elements that we need to design and develop the next generation of digital public services. And I think across the board, across the session, there's one message that resonated with us all, that data, semantics, and AI, they have to work together in order for us to deliver those kind of services that are truly citizen-centric and business-centric.
So, no surprise, AI was one of the big topics, AI-ready data which are AI-ready. I think even in the opening, you already heard that the power of artificial intelligence depends on the quality of the data it learns from. We all know that. We've all heard that many, many times. What we are trying to do in Europe, we are trying to set global standards, not only in terms of legislation, but we also want to have it powered by trusted, high quality, and very importantly, and that's quite unique, multilingual data. And I would like to stress the multilingualism there. And this is how we think AI is going to be safe, is going to be inclusive, is going to be trustworthy. And if I'm taking safe, inclusive, and trustworthy, that means an AI which is truly European.
Well, that's the challenge, right? You mentioned trust, and I think that's super important because the way to make sure that data is trusted is to add a semantic layer, because that's what semantic interoperability is about. It's not only about exchanging data, but exchanging data that is properly understood on all sides. And actually, because interoperability is such a difficult word to pronounce, we sometimes refer to semantic interoperability as being the data diplomacy. And on that, I was very happy to hear Peter, but also in the past 2 days, you've mentioned so many times DCAT-AP, and in Vasilios, you mentioned CPSV-AP. These are our crown jewels specifications, and I'm also very proud to announce that because DCAT-AP is such a used specification, we are now considering to transform it into a standard, and obviously, hopefully with that, there would come a boost in adoption.
So that's for Vasilios, 2 more times DCAT-AP. So, yeah, you can count. So indeed, what is great also is that we see this policy alignment like maybe never before. We have the Interoperable Europe Act, indeed difficult to pronounce. We have the AI Act, we have the Data Governance Act, and the Interoperable Europe Act is not just a piece of legislation. We want to see it as a cornerstone for a digital Europe that is open, multilingual, again, so 2 times they are multilingual, and interoperable by design. And this is really about being value-driven.
It's really great to hear that Interoperable Europe Act is put on an equal footing with the AI Act and Data Governance Act, so we're very proud of this regulation as well. But now these regulations, they all come into supporting a European strategy for data that aims, of course, at creating a genuine data union where data can flow in all directions securely, of course, so that we can all benefit from this.
Yes, but we also have to be honest. Legislation alone won't bring the change. And that's one of my mantra, only execution matters at the end. So here what we've learned and what we've heard for the last 2 days is that the execution depends also on semantic precision and on collaboration. So it means we need you, the practitioners, to turn all these concepts into reality. And I will stress that more and more in the minutes to come.
Well, it's very interesting that you mentioned precision, Frank, and I'm gonna say a few words about that because, well, we get the question, if AI solves all our problems, do we need interoperability? Do we need semantics? And the answer is yes. If you want precision, that you need semantic interoperability, which actually makes it that semantic interoperability is no longer a niche domain or something that geeks get excited about it. It's really something essential, and it's something that needs to be part of our digital strategies. And this is also recognized in the Interoperable Europe Act, where semantic interoperability is quoted as an objective in a regulation that applies to all public administrations and all European institutions, bodies, and agencies.
So, as we are speaking about interoperability, and maybe echoing a bit what Peter brought in his concluding words, we have to avoid constructing data silos. So you heard a lot about data spaces, but we probably need interoperability across spaces and not only within each and every data space. So there we believe that reference data has a crucial role to play, whether it is in the health, in the mobility, in the public procurement domains. Data needs kind of shared language, and reference data is one of the, or part of the backbone of this language. So this is where my colleagues working on EU vocabularies should be very proud. This is maintained by the Publications Office, and once more, this is with DECAT IP where it comes into play, all these efforts that we are doing on a daily basis.
Well, the tools that you're mentioning are there precisely to guarantee that data is trusted, that we can reuse it, that it's discoverable across the board. But now I'd like to take like a step back from semantic interoperability and share some news that may be of interest for you. It's only a couple of days that the Commission has adopted a very ambitious Apply AI strategy. This is about execution and implementation. And this strategy actually features a prominent chapter on AI in the public sector. And one of the flagship actions under the AI in the public sector is no other than the revision of the European Interoperability Framework. And I'm looking at Vasilios because I know he was an actor in designing the current version of the framework. So this framework is going to be revised, and we're going to add an AI dimension. I know that some of you want a layer. I don't know if it's going to be a layer, but it's going to be a dimension. And obviously, semantics will play a very important role on that. So something to keep on your radar.
So you stepped back and brought us the policy view. Of course, at the Publications Office, we will continue playing our part, maybe more operationally in this domain. We will keep maintaining and publishing high-quality, multilingual reference data and metadata. I think, Vasilios, you mentioned also the data portal, so we will continue investing in the platforms such as the data.europa.eu, the EU vocabularies, the tools that I hope now you are familiar with, VocBench, ShowVoc. So we will continue doing that because it's all about making things concrete. We want to deliver.
Well, let's dive into a couple of examples to see how these tools are actually making life easier for everybody out there. And I'm gonna bring two examples. One of them is from our colleagues in Eurostat. They've done work on statistical classification, and actually they use semantic technologies to transform classifications into tools that help make data comparable and harmonized. And this is obviously very useful for policymakers in particular, because they can use this data to compare different scenarios and make more informed decisions when it comes to new legislative proposals. And the second example is something that is very close to my heart. That's digital-ready policymaking. This is something that my team and I have been leading for a while now. This is a framework in place at the Commission which requires that all legislative proposals are assessed from a digital perspective and a digital statement is produced. And the example that I wanted to bring or share with you is that we've actually developed an AI tool together with semantics that extracts these digital relevant aspects and produces automatically a digital statement. So quite a lot of help for policy officers whose only work is to check to make sure that the final product meets the objective.
So Leontina, you want examples? Let me pick two of them. We can't cite them all, of course. First of all, the medications data interoperability project that showcased how ontologies, pharmacogenomic databases, don't ask me what's there, and blockchain can be combined to improve, at the end, to improve what? To improve public services. And that I think we should keep in mind. We discuss a lot about technicalities. We probably like it because I guess many people have an IT background, but what really matters is the impact, the improvement of public services. And there, another example that you also cited before is AKN4EU. So the presentation of this standard, which at the end leads to legislative data which is interoperable. So it's no longer theoretical. By implementing it, legal texts are machine readable, they are versions, they are cross-referenced. So it's really a big step towards legal interoperability. And we hope to build services on top of that. We can extract characteristics of legislation, such as reporting obligations. So all this for better public services.
Well, that's exactly how we've done AI for digital-ready policymaking, by using AKN4EU. If it wasn't there, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So it's an excellent example, Frank. Now, over this past 2 days, we talked about all sorts of tools. And actually, in the opening speech, the Director General of the Publication Office talked about ingredients. So tooling, guidance, experience, know-how, trainings, and so on and so forth. But what do we do with these ingredients? I mean, if we leave it as such, we make nothing out of it. So we need to create a recipe, and then we need to start cooking so that we get something at the end of the day which is healthy and nutritious, safe and inclusive. So in order to do that, we need we need the communities. So on one hand, we have DIGIT, Interoperable Europe, and the SEMIC community. And on the other hand, we have the Publication Office and the ENDORSE communities. And these communities need to get working on how to mix together these ingredients, how to boost their use across the board in order for us to really exploit the return on investment. And we can only do that if we break out of our echo chamber, because of course here we're all convinced that semantic interoperability is great. But what about others? How do we break out of this echo chamber? We need to reach out to public administrations, and not only at national level, but also at regional and local, because they are the ones that are facing most issues. And of course, it goes without saying that we also need to preach the message to all European institutions, bodies, and agencies so that everybody does their job.
So as I like eating a lot, you want to talk about ingredients. So we need collaboration. We need multidisciplinary teams. Because at the end, what we want, again, are better public services. So what matters, maybe I will disappoint you there. What matters is not semantic and it's not data. What matters is the impact we have if we do something with that. So together, what we really want is shared progress, concrete implementation. Interoperability is a team effort. So it requires trust, you said. It requires alignment. It requires reuse efforts, but above all, it requires commitment. So we are all part of the solution. Before we wrap up, once again, I'd like to give some special thanks. Already, Nico, you mentioned the program committee, so we'd like to thank you for your dedication and vision. To our 85 speakers and contributors for the richness of the submissions. To the organizing team, for those you've seen at the registration desk, those behind the scene, those who made this event running smoothly. To Digit and Digital Europe for your unwavering support. And of course to all of you for your energy, your participation, and more importantly, your concrete achievements and realizations.
Well, I too would like to thank everybody, especially you, the participants. Your amazing and active participation made this a really successful event. And I would also like to turn our thanks to the Publication Office. Thank you for being such a trusted partner to Digit and Interoperable Europe. And we count on working with you together to deliver Interoperable Europe. And now in closing, I'd like to say a few words as well. For many years, we say that data is the new oil. It's as old as probably myself, this statement. But here at ENDORSE, we add an extra layer to the oil. We need data to be meaningful. We need data to be multilingual, so third time. We need data to be interoperable in order to truly contribute to a performant digital public sector that uses AI in a safe and inclusive manner. I also have some personal takeaways out of ENDORSE conference as well. I want to use what I've learned in these 2 days in order to make better use of interoperability for simplification and burden reduction, because as you know, top priority for the European Commission. I also want to use it to make our digital ready policy making better. And I also want to use it to fast track the delivery or the implementation of the Interoperable Europe Act, as well as our Apply AI strategy. And last but not least, I think these 2 days also provided me with a lot of ideas that I'm planning to use in the discussions about the design of the future, because you may also know that the Commission has put forward a proposal for the multi-annual financial framework 2028-2034. We are part of the European Competitiveness Fund, and we follow up that closely, and we need to beef up the discussion with concrete examples, and we have that. Thank you very much for that. And before I pass the final word to Franck, I take the opportunity to invite you all to another event, CEMIC 2025, which again talks about semantic interoperability, but about many other things as well, such as AI, sovereignty, European interoperability framework. The event takes place in Copenhagen, 25th, 26th of November. 25th is already fully booked. So if you hurry up, you may still book some seats for 26th of November, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you.
So I had the chance to go to Copenhagen in August, so I can only invite you to go there as well. I will very briefly conclude with a call. I'm calling all of you, all of us, to take what we've learned in those 2 days, the tools, the insights, the inspiration. Bring this back to your projects, bring this back to your teams, bring this back to your policies. Let's turn knowledge into action, because once more, what truly matters is execution. What we want are better services, we want well-implemented policies, which means at the end, what we want is a well-functioning and interoperable Europe. Thank you all, and see you at future follow-up events, including CEMIC.
Thank you very much. And to Franck as well. We just want to have one final word as the moderators. Data being the new oil. That was, I read that was first coined by a British data scientist in 2006. No, but I mean, it's been almost 20 years. It's amazing how far we've come, but how much further we have to go, as we discussed in these last 2 days.
Yeah, for sure. One thing me and Chris were talking about is we have been incredibly impressed with two things over the last 2 days. One is that everyone stayed exactly on time. I don't think either of us have ever moderated anything like that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to all of you.
All the speakers.
Something about semantics, I don't know. But also that there were so many questions that were coming in, both in person and online, and they were really good questions.
Yep, thank you, online.
Yeah, and everybody, thank you so much for all the questions you got. They were, we can tell there is a lot of deep thinking going on right now in this area, and a lot of interest and a lot of excitement. That was very, very evident, I think, from the last 2 days.
Absolutely. And for those who might have missed certain parts of it, there are the slides and the videos on the event site, as well as the Slido cues that we didn't get to. They will be sent to the speakers who can, right, Aniko, right? So those will be answered, absolutely. And the hashtag is ENDORSE 2025. Please cast it wider. Pictures, comments, whatever you heard. Let's cast it wider.
So thank you so much to all of you for being with us the last 2 days, and we wish you an excellent evening.
Thank you all. Safe travels back, too. Thank you.